And that's probably defense and physicality is the most important things really to winning games. And so I really like their defense. Their offense. I think I said actually not last podcast. I think I said last podcast to something earlier that was actually 2 podcasts ago at the Cavs Pistons Game 4 reaction. I said 2 podcasts ago, I think, that their offense is too slow, and it's still too slow, especially when James Harden is the one kind of running it. A lot of standing around, a lot of dribbling without him moving, but it's not bad. It's not a bad offense. It's just not so bad that it makes a bad offense. It's still fine. Today James carried the multitude of the load. And I want to talk about that a little bit. I thought James Harden, he played great. He shot 8 for 21 from the field. Just missed a few free throws, 11 of 14, 3 of 10 from 3. But he had 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He played great. At the same time, I really think Donovan Mitchell should have been carrying the bulk of the offense and having the ball most of the time. I think James Harden had the ball too much. And James is great. He's a great player. But I just think Donovan Mitchell is better when he's... And part of it is Donovan Mitchell's fault too, because he just wasn't aggressive enough. He wasn't attacking as hard. He was attacking a little lackadaisical a lot of the time. When he's really extending his crossovers out and really ripping the crossover back to the other side hard and just attacking with force, he's one of the best players in the league, and it's tough to stop. His windmill pickups and stuff like that. When he's attacking the basket hard, that's when they're at their best. And I don't think he did enough of that. They still got the win. But they were down 9 with 2.5 minutes left. And I heard James Harden say after the game, like he carried the bulk of the offense because it basically give Donovan Mitchell a break from last game. But if that break is going to cause you to be down 9 with 2.5 minutes, I don't think it's worth it. I think Donovan Mitchell needs to have the bulk of the offense. And I don't know. I just wonder sometimes. I feel like everybody who's played sports has been on a team where someone should have the ball, but there's someone else who's going to get the ball, and the someone who I might have said this wrong. There's teams where someone should have the ball the majority of the time. But there's another player who's not as good as that player, but who's going to take the ball, and the person who should have the ball, and the coaches aren't going to say anything. They're just going to let that other person have the ball. And now that there's a humongous gap between James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, but I think they're a better team. If you're not going to run this motion offense where you get everybody involved, if you're going to have a lot of standing around to some extent, the Donovan Mitchell needs to be the one running the offense and getting downhill and attacking the basket, not James Harden. Now, James Harden needs to do it some, but James Harden, it just seemed like towards, the fourth quarter and even a lot of the game when James Harden was there, he just had the ball so much more than Donovan Mitchell. It wasn't even close to even. And Donovan Mitchell, to me, for his standards, he did not play that well tonight. He had 21, 7 of 18, 1 of 8 for 3, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But he didn't really play that well. To me, he just wasn't aggressive. He's got to be more aggressive when he's out there. He's just their best player, and he can't be passive. I think a lot of the last first half he was passive too, only had 4 points. So he's got to be aggressive as their best player, and with how good he is, because they're so much better when he's attacking. And to get back to James Harden a little bit, even though I think he had the ball way too much, I think he looks like he's improved from last year. And I know he's been struggling with hamstring problems, and he said, that that caused him not to be able to work out as much and stay in shape and stuff like that. And I think maybe his hamstrings are healing to the point where he can work out more and his strength and conditioning is better. And I think that's my theory. And he's playing a lot better because of it. He's moving a lot better because of it. Because I know in his prime in Houston, he took strength and conditioning really seriously, in the weight room and stuff like that. Because I watched, one of his first games in Houston, and then I watched before or part of it, and then I've watched part of another game later on in his prime at Houston, and he just got way bigger through his time in Houston, more explosive, just a better driver, one of the best drivers ever. And I think a lot of that's just strength and conditioning. The skill level obviously improved, but a lot of it was just, having that similar skill set at a bigger size and explosiveness. And, I think he might, even though he's getting older, because of his last few years of having hampered injuries, he's actually at a better place now physically, and he's playing better. So that's I thought that was good that he's to me has improved in a way. Turnovers with the Cavs.